Okay, so first thing, right now the character is driven by the control rig. So if you look at the character, he's being driven by the control rig. Able to send this to Maya, you need to bake on the skeleton. We haven't done this much. It's pretty easy. So all you need to do is go on the character button, the blue button, bake to skeleton. Always choose the 3 dots just in case the constant key reducer is on. And then you bake to skeleton. The skeleton is, if you remember when we were doing the Mixamo stuff, right? The skeleton is the base before you make a control rig. So that's what we're baking. We're baking all the keyframes on the skeleton. Okay? So we go plot. So now it baked on the skeleton and it switched to the skeleton. So you can see now the skeleton being animated. Okay, we have all the motion up until the end. So you have to do this per character, right? Because you can't send both characters unless you do it through Brian's video, which is, but you're not going to end up, like we said, you're not going to end up with motion on the advanced skeleton. You're going to end up with the same control rig in Maya. So this is showing you how to plot it on the advanced skeleton. Okay, so now we need to save this skeleton, this character. Save only the skeleton data. Okay, so you select a piece on the skeleton. You go in schematic view, F, and you select the top node. You hold down spacebar and you right mouse click to select all the skeleton, or you can just marquee select like this. Okay. You don't need the mesh, so you can deselect the mesh. So now you only have, let me see, yeah, you can deselect the eyeballs. You don't need those. Let me see what's there. Yeah, there's a couple of meshes that you don't need. So we can hide these actually. Let me see. What are these? Okay. It's the gun and everything. I think we can hide these. Don't need it. If it doesn't say skeleton on it, you can hide these. Okay. If it said like cylinder or gun, you don't need to send these out. And the mesh. Probably something here. Yeah. So we don't need the eyes, the mask. You need the head end because that's the last node on the head. Okay, so we're ready to send this. So you go File, Save Selection. You save it as the same name as your, let's say you broke down your FBX files into different shots. So you name it as, mine was Fight 3. So I would name it Fight 3 Aragorn. Name it per character because if you have more than one character, it's easier to read. Save selection. You keep if you bake on, let's say, a different take, make sure you selected the good take in here. So File, Save Selection. Okay, it will only save the skeleton. So now, if we open up Maya, Hello. I'm gonna bake it on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is it switching? Okay. I think we're still good. I'm gonna bake it on the tuna character that we had before. Okay. So open up your AdvancedSkeleton rig. Actually, I think I need to reference it because we need the namespace in the. Let's see if there is a namespace. Okay, yeah, we need to reference the control rig. Because referencing the control rig will create a namespace for the control rig, or for the character. Because otherwise the mocap transfer won't recognize the skeleton or the control rig. So you need to reference it, create a reference. Computer, where did I put it? I think it's in my tuna. Okay, so for some reason when you reference something, maybe it's the scene, the tuna scene has 24 FPS, 24 FPS. So you need to switch that to 30 because when you plot an FBX that's at 30, you will get some weird frames. So it's better to switch to 30. Okay. So now, as you can see, this character has a namespace. It says model blah blah blah. Okay. So it creates. You can change that model. It doesn't have to be. So if you want to change the namespace, you go and modify. I believe window. General editors, namespace editor. And if you double click on model and let's say you want to name it the character tuna. Oh, maybe it's the top node. Might be the top node, yeah. Tuna. Yeah, this was child, so you need to name the parent namespace, which is this one. Okay, so now let me see. Yeah, it's all good. So now the namespace is tuna. Okay. So now we're ready to merge in the FBX skeleton we just exported. So you go File, Merge. You need to merge it because if you reference the FBX, you can't rename. You need to rename the FBX as well. So you need to merge it. Merging is better than reference because referencing you can't change the names. So you go File, Import, not merge, sorry. FBX. And then you go where you saved the file, which should be in Mobu, Previs, Fight 3 Aragor. Okay? So you merge that in. Okay, maybe importing changes the FPS. You need to change it to. Oh, it's already at 30. Okay, good. So as you can see, okay, so it did merge a couple of pieces. You can delete these pieces, you don't need them. So as you can see, he's humongous. Okay, so first thing we need to do is create a group because we need to scale down. The skeleton to match the same scale as your character. Okay, because just in case you used a different proxy in Motionbuilder and you change the scale in Maya, it's better to scale it down to match the, you will get better transfer, better retargeting. Okay. So let's create a group first. Oh, look at that. It did created a namespace automatically. Okay, so importing creates a namespace automatically, which is good. What we need to do, though, we need to remove this underscore. That's the problem, I think. Actually, it might work. It might. Let's try it. I'm gonna try it before removing it. You might, because if you have, let's say, left underscore hips, then the plugin, it's called MocapMatcher. It won't recognize the left hips, so you need to remove the underscore. But since the underscore is at the end, I think it should be okay. But let's give it a shot. So you select the root, you go Control G, and then you scale down. You scale it down to match. So I'm gonna go with front view. Okay, so before we start plotting it on the character, we need to create a tipos on this skeleton. Later on in the next semester, if you decide to use mocap from the OptiTrack room, you don't need to do this step because it already has a tipos in the file, right? So I'm just showing you this. When you're transferring Motionbuilder, you're not going to have that tipos, so you need to create it. For the purpose of creating a tipos on the FBX is to first scale the character properly to match your character in Maya, and second to match the joints. So you'll see in a minute what I mean exactly. So I'm going to load up the picker. The MocapMatcher is in the picker. So if you open up the picker, you go nm MocapMatcher. Expand that. So first thing, templates is you choose Motionbuilder. If your character has been done through Mixamo, you choose Mixamo. But since I'm using one of the characters that came with Motionbuilder, I'm gonna stick with Motionbuilder. Okay. These are templates. What these templates mean is, if you look in the joints section, these are the templates used for the skeleton names. Okay. So if you switch to Mixamo, it's actually the same. Okay. It might change. Let's say I go to IPsoft. IPsoft is another mocap video-based system. So as you see, it changes the name because they have a different name on the skeleton. So for now, either use Mixamo or Motionbuilder. Okay. You can create your own custom one. If you go new, you can actually create. Let's say you, by mistake, you rename the joints. You can actually name it the way you want. I'm sorry? The filter, it's right here, new. So you have IPsoft, Mixamo, and Motionbuilder. You go new, and you create your own joints. Okay? But you need to match it from the AdvancedSkeleton to, this is the AdvancedSkeleton, and this is the, actually it might be better just to use one of these, right? and just change the names here because you already have the names from AdvancedSkeleton. So you just need to do the equivalent on the skeleton that's coming in, the mocap skeleton that's coming in. Okay? So for now, I'm just going to stick with this. And then if you do a custom one, all you need to do is click export and then name it as whatever. So now it will show up here once you do the custom one. Okay? So you can use it over and over. Okay, I'm going to stick with Motionbuilder. That's the one I used. Side is the skeleton joints. You don't need to worry about this. It's okay. Namespace. So this is super important. Namespace. You have an AdvancedSkeleton and other. Other is the mocap skeleton. So you need to select one of the joints. It already has a namespace, right? It has Aragor. Okay. So you select one of the joints and you go detect from selected. That's why you need the namespace. If you don't have a namespace, it's not going to work. Okay. You go in functions. The first two you don't really need. It's optional. What you need to do is... No, actually this one you need. This one, I'm not sure what it does because they added it after... Okay, it doesn't matter. It didn't do anything. So this one is where you're creating the tipos. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, let's say, 5 frames. And I'm going to create a tipos in negative. So this way I don't have to offset anything. Okay? So I select the skeleton. And I go 0 out mocap joints. Okay, so there is a weird rotation on the skeleton. So I need to fix that before. So basically, I just need to make it straight and it tipos. It's probably the way the skeleton was built. I think I need to invert this one too. Okay. So I'll create a key here. Let's see if it worked. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about this. You're not going to need this, right? So I only need what's after frame 5, but you need this to scale the FBX, the mocap FBX, to match the control rig. Okay, so now we select the top group and we scale a bit more to match. I think. Let's see on the side. Oh man, the toes are all messed up too. Yeah, this was badly done. The skeleton was badly done. So what do we got here? Left foot. Okay, so I need to rotate this guy. I should have picked something else. Because when you zero out the joints, you're supposed to be in a T-pose properly, not like the ankles going down. I didn't test this before. I should have tested it. It's okay, no worries. So this T-pose is only for scaling. It's not going to affect anything. I hope not. We'll see, I guess. What was it? Z. Okay. Key it. Okay. So now we can scale again properly. Can actually bring down this T-pose. So you select the hips and you just bring it down a little bit. And then we go back to, okay, scale it up. Try to match the hips and maybe the top of the shoulders. So I think that's close enough. Move it a little bit to match the character. I would say let's try it. Let's try this. Okay. So now, okay. So now the next step after you do the T-pose. So if you see that the control rig now has IK on the feet and on the spine, you need to put those to FK because when you're transferring mocap, it doesn't like IK. Everything has to be in FK. So the next step is set rig to all FK. It will turn all the IK settings to FK. So now you're ready to connect the mocap skeleton to your control rig. You go connect. If you're successful, it will say 51 joints connected. See? So now if we scrub, woohoo! We got motion. He's a little bit offset, but we can, probably because of the scale, the legs are too big. Let me see if we offset this. Yeah, you can offset the group, and I will follow. Yeah, a little bit better. I just want to check if all the mocap is there. It's all there. Okay. So the next thing is you go bake. So now it's baking everything on the control rig, on the FK controllers. You guys prepared your videos? Yeah. Okay. For the one-on-one. Okay. Okay. So now if you select any of the FK joints, see they all have keys and it's ready. Let's double check. Yep. So now you can disconnect to check that the baking has been done. So disconnect MocapSkeleton and scrub through again. Everything's there. So now, actually, I'm gonna save this before. So I'll save it in anims, fight 3, Aragor. Keep it the same. And then I can delete. Now I can delete the MocapSkeleton because I don't need it anymore, right? Just to make the scene a bit lighter. And then I'll save it as Aragor clean or edit, whatever you want to do. Because just in case something went wrong, you want to revert back to the one with the MocapSkeleton, that's your backup. Okay, so now it's ready for editing, it's ready for deleting keys. You don't need this one anymore. So the first thing I do usually, you don't need the minus frames, so you could just take those out. Because everything is in FK, you need to convert those to IK to work properly, especially the feet, because the feet have contacts, right? So you need to convert the FK to IK. So the way to do this is in the picker as well. So if you go anim, bake, you have a bunch of options here. And the one you need is FK to IK. So there's left arm, right arm, spine. I don't recommend using the spine. It bugs out. Don't use the spine. And left leg and right leg. So we want the left leg and the right leg. And you go FK to IK left leg and you go bake. So this process takes some time because it's converting all the FK joints to the IK joint, to the IK switch. Okay, so it takes time. And let's say you have, you have contacts with the hand. Let's say he's getting up. I would highly recommend IKing the switching to IK on the hands as well. In this case, you don't need it because he's not doing any contacts with the world or props with his hands, so I don't need it. I just need the legs. I think that's the longest part is converting to IK. So I would just at least do it on the feet because most of the time you're walking, you're doing something.
You have to do leg too, or just the left leg?
You should do both legs because yeah, it's going to be easier to work with because otherwise, if you don't do IK and you're going to delete a bunch of keys, it's going to slide. All the in-betweens are going to be messed up. That's the advantage of IK is it's in world space. Halfway there. I mean, maybe technically you don't need to do this, because if you're gonna if you're gonna nuke away all the in-betweens and just keep the key poses and the breakdowns, you don't really need this to do this. Actually, yeah, let's try. I'm gonna try this with the other leg. I'm gonna delete a bunch of keys on the other leg and see if it goes faster. Because if you only have the key poses and the breakdowns, I think it's probably maybe it's gonna bake. It might bake on all the frames, so it might be the same actually. I'm gonna try it after this one. Again, that's advantage of Motionbuilder is you don't have to do any of this. So I'm not pushing Motionbuilder, but you see what we have to get. I think Lewis has another plan for you guys for this IK stuff in Maya. He seems confident to have a solution to bake mocap on the control rigs, so he's going to show you that, I think, this week. But fallback plan is this. Actually, I just thought maybe there is a way to switch FK keys to IK. I'm going to try that on the other leg. See if it works. Three, two, 1, 0. No, what is it doing? Okay. So now the leg has been converted. See, it works. It just takes a while. Is he messed up here? Yeah, what happened with the foot here? I had some issues before. Oh man. Maybe they... Okay, looks like it messed up the toes or the foot rotation. Yep, I'm gonna have to bug them about this. I'm gonna save this scene. I'll send it to them. So as you can see, the IK messed up a little bit. You don't need, maybe we can skip this step. You don't do the IK until I go back and forth with them to see what happened. So let's say we skip this step and see the other leg is fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start deleting the in-betweens. So it's the same process as we remember last week. I showed you how to keyframe. You're going to end up with the same result. So I'm not going to do everything. I'm just going to do a couple of frames. So I'm going to keep the key poses and some of the breakdowns. So since he's running here, I'll keep the first pose. On contact, so maybe the passing, I'll keep this one. Whoops. I'm gonna delete these keys. So yeah, you select all, right, in the picker, and you start deleting. Ooh, okay, see? Okay, I'm gonna continue and we're gonna try to fix this after. Might be able to fix the leg by switching to IK, but only on that frame. So that's the other passing. I'm gonna keep this. Contact again. Anyways, you get the idea. Just same thing as you're gonna end up with a keyframe version of this. So I'm gonna try to fix the foot by just switching on that frame from FK to IK. I'll see if hopefully it works. So you select one leg, you go to NM, switch FK to IK. Okay, it worked. So let's try on this frame. Oh, did it switch everything? Whoa, 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 what's going on here? Undo. Maybe switch FK to IK. Nope, it's not working either. Okay, well, at least IK stuff is broken. It was working like maybe a month ago. They must have updated something and it broke it. Anyways, at least you get keys on the FK joints. And also you can extract the poses from it, right? Remember how I showed you last week how to extract the poses? I'm gonna just try to bake maybe like 50 frames and see what happens. It's gonna probably bug out on the first few frames. Let's just try. So you go bake and then bake. You need the right leg now. FK to IK, right leg. Go. Ooh-wee. Yeah, it's baking all the in-betweens, so that's the problem. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, so it bugs out because the in-betweens are all messed up, but afterwards it's fine. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, fixing this on a layer, right? You can go and NM. Create layer from selected. Rotate to make it flush. Now yeah, you can fix the bad rotation that's being caused by the switch from FK to IK by just a key on a layer. So that's how you can fix it. That's it. You know your stuff after this, right? If you want to delete all the in-betweens and just keep your key poses, switch them to IK, and edit on a layer, make your poses stronger, and fix all the in-betweens after. Cool? That's it.